Hello world, thanks for listening. It's been a while since the last English episode. The last English episode was July the 2nd. Today it's October 10th, so it's over 3 months past. Those 3 months are actually very busy month for me. Those stories are basically main topics of my last episode. That is in Japanese, just a talk, and that was September 25th, episode 24. There I talk a little bit about those busy months, some kind of excuse, and more than that. Let me talk that busy month story here in English too. The first 2 months or the first half of this 3 months, I was busy for working my job, and there is some project I've been working on, and I need to build something for demonstration in a timely manner, and basically I'm the only one who can do this kind of thing, so I need to do that by myself. It's a job related stuff, and we're still working on that. I'm working as a programmer in a company here in Kanazawa, in the middle of nowhere in Japan, by the way, countryside of Japan, and it's a small company, IT developing company, and I've been working on to create some new stuff and to build the demonstration for one potential customer, and I've done that. That was middle August, so more or less in the middle of this 3 months period. So that's done in a way for the presentation, but as I said, it's not the end of the project. I have to build that system as a complete form, as a service. So we're still working on that, and we hope that we will release some kind of a better testing at the end of this year, the end of December. So we have less than 3 months, and hopefully in next couple of months or so we want to finish polishing up for the official release of the service. So if you're interested in please wait 4 more months. And that is the first part of this busy 3 months. After that, there is still later part of this busy 3 months. That is caused actually by the first part of the business. I have some schedule for this. There is some event in September, and I hoped to have some time, like the end of June, July, and August for preparation. But as I said, those times are just gone for the busy project. So after finishing that project, the time have almost gone. I have to work hard to meet the event. That was a self-publishing event, online and offline event for technical books, technology books, and science, that kind of thing. We call the Gijutsu-Shoten, technical book exhibition kind of thing. And this was the 13th event. And we, as a group, joined this series of events since 9th. That was just 2 years ago. And during those 2 years, our group published 5 books. And this event in September, we hope to make a new book magazine. That was a second magazine. Our group name is Zenkei AI Forum, ZAF in short, ZAF. And we start compiling, making a magazine. And we entitle the magazine as ZAM, Z-A-M, Zenkei AI Magazine. 1 year ago of the event, last summer, we published the volume 1 And we hoped at the time that that magazine, ZAM, ZAM, as a seasonal magazine. But this September, we have finally released the second one. So it's a very much annual magazine, it seems so. But it's a good timing, good pace, because making a magazine takes extra time, extra effort, and we have a monthly online event at the end of every month, Wednesday. So if we also publish the magazine 4 times in a year, seasonally pace, it's gonna be too busy for me. So I'm the chief editor, so I need to work for this one. So maybe it's overworking, so it's impossible. Although we put it the name of the magazine, Zenki AM magazine, seasonal in Japan, ZAM Kiho. Kiho means seasonal magazine. And we stick with that name, but actually it's releasing maybe in a once a year pace, I think. So yeah, as I said, I finished the job project at the end of August. No, in the middle, almost the end of August. And this self-publishing online event started on early September 10th. And the online event lasts for 2 weeks actually. Started on Saturday and runs through for 2 weeks and finished on Sunday midnight. And that's the event. And hopefully everybody participant will be prepared, would submit their manuscript and release the new books, magazines when the event started, so that the book were available for entire period of the event. And that was typical, ordinary plan. But these organizers of the event are accepting after the starting date of the event. So meaning that we may submit later than the beginning. But of course, we need to submit before the end of the event, right? So I kind of managed to submit the version 1, or I should say version 0.1 of the magazine at the date of the beginning, September 10th. So I compiled almost 10 days or so. And at the time, at the very first edition of the magazine, the number of pages are like 70 something, less than 80. But the some sections, some chapters are missing. Just put the title, and I continued writing those things. And luckily, I finished the magazine in the middle of the event, maybe 1 week later. So just in the middle of 2 weeks event. And the final numbers of the pages, the magazines, is beyond 120 pages. Exactly 128 pages. Not twice, but almost twice numbers. But that's done. And I'm exhausted, actually, at the end of this event, at the end of September last month. And almost 2 weeks have passed. I'm still in the recovery phase to the normal daily life. And so, yeah, this is the second episode of this personal podcast. And this is a sign of my recovery to the daily life. Okay, that's a brief explanation of English version of a brief explanation of my these days, 3 months. And okay, so what else I should? Okay, yeah. After finishing this self-publishing event, This event, Gijutsu-Shoten, they have their own market system online. So everybody can purchase our books, other participants' books, even after the event finished, for the online version, electronic version, I mean. But that is independent marketplace. And we have, as I said, manuscript, definitely. In my case, I wrote this new magazine, Volume 2, written in LaTeX and create the PDF files for the electronic version. And we also make a paper version for this event. And I submit the printing company in a proper format. It will come later this week, hopefully. That's the way this event is organized. So we hope to get the paper books of ours as well as the books I purchased on the event. Yeah, but the point is that I have a manuscript, and I'm just wondering, I had an email, kind of a notification email from Amazon. Amazon is a bookshop, online bookshop, right? Of course, everybody knows. And they provide several interesting services for the individuals, the writers, right? Actually, one of them is that they put the name of the service, Kindle Direct Publishing, and the first target will be the electronic books, Kindle books. And 1 year ago, as I said, we published Volume 1, magazine Volume 1, and after the event finished at the time, I'm curious about, the publishing in those major ebook stores, including Amazon, Apple, and Rakuten here in Japan. It's one of the major distributor of this electronic books. And I made it, the electronic version of the magazines, and publish on those major ebook stores. But that is the electronic book format. So people, of course, can read on a computer or their own devices or smartphone, I think. But, it's, for me, the book is on paper, paper bind book is the book by definition, personally. Of course, I read the website on computers, emails on computers, smartphone, but for book, really, serious reading, I still pick the paper books, and I still purchase paper version on Amazon, personally. Oh, by the way, it's maybe I'm a old school, out of date type of person, just a retrospective or nostalgic kind of person. But for the music, I love music, listening music, and I heavily listening during my work on the computer. I'm a programmer. I'm listening mainly on YouTube recommendations usually. But when I, buy music, I don't subscribe any specific streaming services. Of course, maybe I can listen to the Amazon Music because I enrolled with the Prime member, but I'm not diving into their libraries or services. And even through Amazon, I'm buying music in the format of vinyl. These days, especially after I bought record player. That was 3-4 years ago. It's sitting here on my desk. It took huge space on my desk, and but anyway, I'm maybe a little bit a strange person, or at least I'm a minority of the current market in the music business as well as the book reader market. Anyway, so I love paper books. And half a year ago, quite a while ago, I got from Amazon Kindle service that they start provide the paper book service in Japan. I'm living in Japan. The services available in Japan and the rest of the world or US. Last year, around that, they finally start providing paperback service in Kindle Direct Publishing. Around that time, I was busy But now, I just finished the event and I have a new manuscript in front of me. My memory is fresh to adjust the minor editorial things. That's quite easy right now. So I just try to make a paperback service of this Kindle Direct Publishing with this ZAM Vol.2 magazine. And I did it. It's quite, it's obvious that this service is basically just another publishing service, right? And as I said, for this self-publishing event, I submit my electronic manuscript to the small printing company making this self-publishing books printing company. So yeah, make a PDF and set the size of the paper and put the marks on the papers and the cover page. We need to put the front cover on the right and the back cover on the left, and in the middle there is a title part, and with this size kind of thing depending on the pages of your book, and they arrange that in the kind of thing I just did for the event. I just need to adjust for this Amazon format, and just did it. And it's basically the same. And it's released right now, so you can check on Amazon. Anyway, Amazon.com is okay for, I think. That's one advantage of this Amazon global company things. It's very, this is one big, one big advantage as a writer, bookmaker standing point. One advantage of this service, one good thing, one of the biggest impact for this writer side, bookmaking side, is that you don't need any money for making your own book. That is quite something. Before this service, Amazon Paperback KDP service, there is several personal small publishers or printing companies providing self-publishing making book services, but usually the writer need to pay a certain amount of money at the beginning before making a book. But this Amazon service, you don't need any money. This is because this paperback books were printed after getting the orders. So yeah, this is a print-on-demand service. So there is no stockpiles of the books on the spaces. You don't need that. Amazon don't need that. So that's why you don't need to pay beforehand. That's a great thing. So, there is no barrier to start your own book. That is an innovative way, I think. But at the same time, this is run by the biggest book company in the world, Amazon. So as I said, self-publishing business is a small business, basically. I ordered my own books printing for a small company. And so they're going to be tough, I think, under this. They need to compete with this Amazon paperback service. Quality, maybe. They need to compete with the qualities, paper choices, those stuff, as well as the price point, of course. But this Amazon service, the printing price is not that expensive. Actually, it's very cheap in my sense. I ordered my book, so-called prime color printing, for the main body. So all pages are printed in color, full color. And the printing price for this 128-page book is less than 1,000 yen, so less than $10 roughly for printing. So it's not that expensive. Of course, volume discount there is no such volume discount kind of thing. So the price is just the same for one book or 100 books or 1,000 books. So that will be the point. No more printing company can compete, I think. Yeah, bookstores, small bookstores have a tough time with this big online bookshop like Amazon, but also printing companies are the similar situation too. And I don't know, as a writer, as a bookmaker, Amazon is very attractive, as I said. we don't need to pay any money. But at the same time, I have some complicated feeling. I don't know what I can say, what I can do. But anyway, it's a good experience, and I have some plan to put my own book. Right now, I put magazines. Volume 1, I also put the paper version of our Volume 1 of our Circles magazine. And so there are 2 books right now, and I'm going to, maybe if I have some time, I'm going to put my own books. I wrote the self-publishing books, 2 by myself and 2 as the group magazine. And I'm going to put my own books also in Amazon, hopefully. I like to see the full color version of my books because there is a screenshot of the computer displays, and those are in color. So electronic version PDF, it is in color screenshot, but in a printed version right now, it's printed black and white. Yeah, I like to see the full color version of those books. Yes, and now I'm preparing. I need to prepare for the next event, monthly event of this Zenki AI Forum, ZAF event that will coming at the end of each month. In that, in my mind, I recently got interested in one of the major improvement of AI technology. Of course, these days, generative models are very hot topic in the field. Stable diffusions and the similar things. Actually, the progress is too fast to catch up. But what I want to talk now is not on that. DeepMind just announced new research published in Nature last week, I guess. That is about the matrix multiplication, one of the core building blocks of the computer algorithms, computer calculations for many years, especially in the scientific computation. But these days, everybody just think, oh, it's a deep learning stuff. But before that, we, as a scientist, numerical scientist, heavily using this process. Everybody knew BLAS, basic linear algebra, what is S? Subroutine system, maybe? BLAS and the layback, and those are the one of our building blocks of scientific computation. And matrix multiplication is basically the basics. Yeah, it's in the BLAS, of course, but it's a straightforward implementation. In the classic numerical recipe explaining vast numerical algorithms in computer calculations, they cover one interesting section in the context of a matrix inversion. It is known that the matrix inversion is the process of n cubed. N is the size of the matrix. And nobody doubt about that in a naive point of view because, let's say this, matrix inversion is order of n cubed process. That fact is coming from that. That calculation is consists of matrix multiplication, not the matrix vector multiplication. Matrix vector multiplication can calculate by the cost of n squared. So applying, for the approximation of the calculation, we may apply iterative method, which consists of a finite iteration of the matrix vector multiplication. As a result, we got n squared cost algorithm to get the solution of a linear set of equation. Usually, if we solve linear set of equation directly, that is multiplying the inversion of the matrix to the given vector to get the solution. That is direct way to solve the problem. To get the inversion, we need m cubed cost. Okay, so yeah, in the direct approach, we need to form the inversion matrix. To do that, we need n cubed cost. So in a direct approach, usually it costs n cubed rather than n squared. So why matrix multiplication costs n cubed? The number of elements of a matrix is already n squared, n by n, right? For each element, we need to multiply n component of the other matrix to get the matrix multiplication. As a result, naively, by definition, I think, we need n cubed cost. And then as I said, I thought that was by definition, so that that's the cost we need anyway. But in the numerical recipe, in that section, they said that we may calculate this matrix multiplication less than n cubed calculations. And that algorithm is called the Strassen algorithm. They show that, and actually the Strassen show that for the 2x2 matrix case, so n equals 2. In that case, usually we need 2x2x2 equals 8 multiplication necessary in a naive, straightforward implementation of the matrix calculations, 3 for loop calculations. But what Strassen showed is that we may get this 2x2 matrix, the multiplication. We can calculate not 8 multiplications, but with only 7 multiplications. And the equation looks so. We can check it numerically and mathematically. That was a classic result. The last week, DeepMind published Nature that they apply the idea of AlphaTensor approach into this matrix multiplication program, and they get much better algorithms beyond this Strassen and the others, I think. I just read DeepMind's blog post, and I'm still in the middle of reading their Nature paper. But it looks interesting because a couple of months ago, that was when? I forgot. Maybe early this year's Zenki AI Forum event, I mentioned actually this Strassen algorithm in the context that there is a Quanta online magazine, and they feature this program, the matrix multiplication program, and they refer this Strassen and the later progress of this program by mathematicians. So, and they try to find a better algorithm beyond this Strassen algorithm and mathematically. So they're searching the limit of the order. So naively, we can calculate matrix multiplication with the n squared, the order, n to the order 3. And how much we can reduce that order from 3 to 2 or something, and mathematicians are studying those things. And that's the topic of the Quanta, and I think that's interesting for the Zenki AI Forum audience. So I mentioned that, and I also talk about my encounter of this numerical recipe stuff many years ago. I completely forgot about that. And then the last week's this Nature paper thing. So I'm now reading their Nature paper to talk something about this news at the next forum. It's interesting, right? Also, the application of this deep learning techniques into the scientific researches. It's one interesting direction. This line of application, deep learning stuff. I think some of those applications are not not scientifically I don't like that. Let's solve the equation, feed the deep learning model many examples, then somehow the deep learning model learn some patterns, some essence. Then they start giving us likely results, maybe, for partial differential equation or something. But that is not helping our understanding, right? But this approach, AlphaTensor, they said, it's, I don't know, it looks a little bit different. It's a little bit better approach than just using a black box machine to solve a difficult problem kind of thing, but more like learning some insight of the world, the mathematics, the logic. But at the same time, like right now, especially for this matrix multiplication, we can feel the progress. We can value their result, better result. But if things are going on, at some point, maybe we human being couldn't understand what they are doing beyond our knowledge or our understanding. If the computer, let's say, even in this multiplication of the matrix, maybe right now we have a long-term struggle of this optimization of the algorithm starting from Strassen. Now they provide some slightly better solution, so we may feel something, the progress we can feel. But yeah, the thing is like what happened in game of Go thing, AlphaGo things. For layman like me, the world top class players play is already beyond my understanding, right? And a few years ago, AlphaGo beat the world top class players completely, right? For me, it's already beyond my understanding, of course, definitely. But now, top of the top, I mean, AlphaGo is strong, but I can't feel the strongness. I can't appreciate the strongness. I know it's strong, but that's it, right? And DeepMind apply this reinforcement learning into the scientific field, and the science, the process, is basically to understand the world by ourselves, for us. We human beings want to understand the world. That's why we start studying the world. That is the science, right? What happens if the computer surpassed our understanding level? What is that science? Science for the computers? Science for the AI? I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm not prepared for this talk, and I don't know why things are going this way. But anyway, I'm still reading the complicated paper. I'm not a mathematician. I'm a physicist, basically trained as a physicist rather than a computer guy. So let's see. Yeah, I'd like to talk about another thing. That is understanding music. Some people are very fast judging the music, I think. Like some artists just released a new album or something. Immediately, some people say, oh, this is a masterpiece or something. I'm just wondering, how can they judge that album is masterpiece or not by such a short time? Because I can't do that, meaning that most of the time at the very beginning, I don't feel any specific quality or something, just the music. But I usually listen to the new album of my favorite musicians repeat and repeat. And at some point, maybe after a week or even a month, then I realize that in that specific album, oh, that song is good, or that is not so good, or boring, that kind of thing. I start feeling those kind of things. I need some time. Maybe I need to memorize, I need to remember the song, the melodies, and to judge, to feel. To do that, I need some time, right? And this, how much I need to reach that phase, to understand the music. I realize that is sometimes it's like, as I said, it's like a week or a month, but sometimes it's like years or 10 years kind of thing. One example of such a long-term stuff, I need 10 years to understand, start enjoying the music. One of the song, I love Bill Evans since I was 20s actually, and so I listened to him for a long time, a lot. One of his favorite song he played repeatedly during his entire career, that is the song called Nerdist, credited by Miles Davis. At the beginning, like when I was 20s, around that time, this song Nerdist is boring song for me. Around that time, I'm interested in the harmony mainly, and this Nudis is a melodic song and a very eccentric feeling. And that's it, I think, for me around that time. But these days, I start feeling that this song is good. I can't explain in a logical way, but I start feeling something of the song, especially after listening his long piano solo introduction of his later recordings. These days, there are many unreleased recordings of him. In his late period, especially with the Mark Johnson, Bill Evans plays Nerdist so frequently, and usually he put long piano solo intro part. That sounds interesting, finally. So when I look back, I realized that to start feeling this kind of thing, it took over 20 years, 30 years, right? So music critic people just write something for the new release, like in a liner booklet. They wrote something good. How can you do that? I don't understand that. Why I'm talking about this? Okay, yeah. Actually, I'm because of this busy time last 3 months, I can't open the package of the record I recently ordered to the Amazon. Somehow it's on a very surprisingly cheap price. Anyway, I bought Michael League's solo project, the latest one. The title is So Many Me in vinyl. As I said, I recently buy a new music album. If possible, I try to get vinyl version. And I bought it a few months ago in the middle of a busy time, and I just leave it because I have no time to open it. But after finishing everything, a few days ago, I just open it and start listening to the music, and it's really good. And just listening a few days so far. Now I'm in the middle of memorizing phase maybe, but I like it. I can't say anything yet. I can't distinguish between the songs, but this album itself is very good. I like to listen more carefully or repeatedly. I like to enjoy that. Yeah, I'm slow in everything I realized. People tend to do things as fast as possible, and that's a good thing, people think. But I don't know. I don't want to do that, maybe because I'm not good at that. Fast, competing the fastness. And in the first place, I don't want to compete with people because I'm not good at that. That is the main reason, but we don't need to compete, right? Anyway. I have there is a Japanese audio maker called Zoom. These days, Zoom, people think that is the online conference application service. But far before that, there is audio related the device maker called Zoom. I have a handy recorder, H01N here. This is for recording, linear recorder, I think. And I bought it because I'm curious about the recording. Anyway, yeah, the sound is basically anything, not only music, but noise, door opening, and people chatting far away, that kind of thing, right? Some insects ringing, bird singing, that kind of thing. Rain sound, sunny day sound. I don't know, but there is a sound, and sound recording outdoor is one interesting thing. I'm not getting to that. I'm just reading some book when I was a kid, and I just recorded. That was yesterday when I was sitting here in my office, home office. That was raining outside at the time, or that time before, but it stopped. Then, I love that timing when the rain just stopped and it's getting brighter, and sometimes the sun is coming again. That feeling, the atmosphere, that is my favorite time seeing kind of thing. One of the important factor of that scene is the sound. The rain stopped already. Then the bird is singing far away, start singing, enjoying the stop raining. That sound is one of my favorite sound. Yesterday, I heard that sound. So I just grabbed this recorder and get out. But still, the wind is strong and it's still raining. But the birds are singing or chatting. Maybe they're discussing, when the rain is gone or something. Maybe, I don't know. Bird watching is one of the hobby people are enjoying that, right? Using a binocular, watching birds, right? At some point, I was curious about that, and I'm looking for which binocular is the best one, that kind of thing. Nikon will be better, kind of thing. But I still didn't start doing that. Bird listening, not watching, bird watching, but bird listening might be interesting for me personally rather than the watching. What do you think? Do you have any experience on that? Please advise me any tips or something. Okay, so this is the newest episode of this Music and Math podcast, my personal podcast program. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Peace and love.